Hello everyone, in my today's video, I'm gonna show you how you can create the React navigation in your React Native application. As you see, we're gonna go from the beginning and how you can implement that one with the TypeScript, of course. And as you see in over here, I have a home page, and from the home page, I have one is the logo and another is a cart page logo. So once I click in the cart, it will take me to the cart page. For right now, as you see, there is a back button. And if I click on the back, it will take me to the back. And if I click again in the cart, I can go to the cart page, and I have one title which is saying me the cart page. Of course, the cart item will be available there. For right now, today, I'm going to show you how you can toggle through all the accounts. Like I have an account page. If I click, as you see, going through there with the back button and the title over there, you can go back to the same cart page, go to the details, and it will take you the product detail page where the product details will be available. And you can go to the back as the payments, the same way we can actually modify the things as is looking bit over here. So now for that, I am just running it from my local server. So I'm gonna kill the server and I'm gonna close my emulator from here. As now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna close my previous running application. And as you see in my GitHub repo, I already created a shoppers app. Let's click on it. In here, from that app, you're gonna get everything you need, the things I am actually showing you beforehand. So like if I go and open my terminal, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just clone that one. So git clone and paste that one. It's a public repo, you can clone it too, so there will be no issue. It's Alice and CD shoppers app. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna open it in my Visual Studio Code. Let's open the terminal, and as you see, I am using the yarn. So what I'm gonna do actually, let's open my git bash, and now you can put yarn install or just type the yarn. So now it will go and fetch all the required dependencies which I have in my package.json file, and then it's gonna give you a head start. Like you're gonna have your home page, you're gonna have a render, the product data, everything will be available there, and from there you can start, or you can just implement that new project and you can start. I will give you the link in the description below where you can really go and head through stuff. As you see, what I have over here, I have a components Redux. We're gonna implement later on. I have a header, footer, and the loading instances. And in this screen, I have only in the home page, and everything is rendering inside that home page. So now let's go and spin that application. So npx react native start. So now it's gonna spin up through and run it in my emulator. So if you are not familiar with the environment, how you can set up your Android Studio with Windows, I will give the video links in the description, which I made earlier. You can find it very useful to create that one. Let's just get a little bit zooming in my code. So that's it. Okay, this looks better. Okay, now as you see, this looks the similar of just beforehand what I have been showing you. So now it's gonna still not running it. So it's gonna install and run it spin through. Now our application is spinning. So now first thing what we're gonna do, that you see the title is a different. So let's go in the component and let's try to write some things over here. So let's type shoppers, and you see that is a change. Oops, it will be double P. So now what we need to do actually, we need to create that. If you click over there, as you see, is nothing working. So let's go to our home page. Not the home page, in the header. So as you see, we have that shopping cart icon and the title and everything over here. And what we need to do to make it as a clickable, with instead of view, we need to make it as a touchable opacity. So it will, and also we need to import it from React Native. Oops, no, I need to copy that one. Okay. So now whenever I click, you see, now I'm able to make it that clickable FFNE. So what I need to do to make that, first of all, let's go to our screens. Now I have only one screen, which is my home screen. Let's create another screen, which will be my accounts.tsx. So RNFE, React Native Functional Components. And after the accounts, I'm going to create another one, which will be, it will be card.tsx, tsx, RNFE. And there will be one more, which will be details.tsx, RNFE. It will not be RFC, it will be RNFE, React Native one. And the last one, it will be payment.tsx. So this is the all over the page which I'm gonna create to navigate through it. So let's go and begin with installing the required dependencies for our React navigation. So first of all, I'm gonna put the link about that repo in the description. You can clone it through, or you can just create a simple React Native application to just highlight how you can get started with a React Native navigation. So first of all, what you need to do, I'm using the Yarn. If you're using the NPM, it's the same thing, just to managing your package. So let's copy that and let me go through in my git bash, and I'm gonna install that. And after installing that, installing dependencies into an Expo managed project. Our project is with the CLI, not in Expo, so we no need to run that one. And that installing dependencies into a Bear React Native project. That is our project, the Bear React Native project. We are creating it with npx React Native latest. So now also we need to install that React Native screens and React Native safe area context. Let's install that one. And after that, if you're using the iOS, what you need to do, you need to go to the pods file, like cd into pod, and I just need to pod install, and it's gonna install all the dependencies. Now we need to actually make that because we will run it. We're running our application in the Android, so we need to modify the Android to maintain the screen props. How we gonna do it? As you see, we need to go to Android and app source main Java, then in the main activity.java file. So how we can do that? Let's go to our Android folder. This is the folder in the app, and it will go in the source, in the main, and Java. This is our file, which is the main activity.java. So we need to just copy that snippet, and we're gonna paste it over here. And after pasting it, we need to also copy that one, and we need to import it in the top level. So now it's gonna implement over there. So that much all. We are already making things wrapping up. Now what we need to do, we need to wrapping our app with a navigation container. And we're gonna do it. You can do it with index.js or app.js. By the way, I don't want to modify my index.js because it's registered from there. So I'm gonna modify it inside my app.tsx. Now for right now, I'm not gonna showing my provider right now because we're gonna set our Redux toolkit in our next video. So what we need to do, we need to copy that one because we need to import it from React Navigation Native. And now we can actually wrapping everything inside that container. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get everything from there and navigation container. Let's put it over here. And now let's go back to our application. We're gonna get an error, that internal error. It's because we need to remove that safe area view. It will not go handle with that properties. So just reload the application. We are getting a server error. Don't freak out. What we need to do, we just need to close our terminal and also just close whatever is running through because we are changing in the road. So what we need to do, we need to rerun our application again. So this is the simple things you can do with the React Native application whenever you are developing, because most commonly we are facing that issue. So don't worry about it. Let's rerun our application. So now you can see it's reinstalling everything from the, it's also bundling the app, and everything you're gonna see in that console, that how it's actually maintaining the dependencies for safe area view or React Native screens, those are the things. It's better to hit the reload your applications or the kill the terminal and then restart it again. And by the way, if you still having any issue that after killing your terminal and reopening it's not working, then you can do one thing, is that if you're using the yarn, you can just make it reset cache, or if you're using the npm, just npm clean cache. So that's the way it will just rebundling all the caches, and then it's gonna modify your application. So now we already created our navigation container, and after creating, now it's time to say hello to React Navigation. So let's go, and now we need to install another dependencies, which is that React Navigation native stack. Let's copy it, and we're gonna install that one too. After installing, what you need to do, you need to create a native stack navigator. And to do that, what you need to do, we already got that navigation container, so we need to have that import a create native stack navigator. So we also gonna import over here, and now we gonna make a variable. I think we can also take it in the top level. Const stack it will be, that's the stack we're gonna use. And after using that stack, we need to put that inside that stack.navigator. So that home, it will not be there anymore, so it will be stack.navigator, and then it's gonna come stack.screen. And inside the screen, we need to give a name of the screen. Our first screen name, it will be home, and the component, it will be home. So let's save. Now if we go back here, as you see, we can see the home, but there is a title is coming over there. It's a header on a header. This header is coming from a React Navigation, but we don't want that header to be shown there. So we're gonna hit an options and like header shown, we just need to make it as false. So the header will not be shown here. So now we are having our screen ready, but how many screen are we gonna do? We're gonna have a 5 screen. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just copy it multiple times. So now instead of the second one, instead of the home, it will be the name will be the card, and it will be card. As you see, it's auto importing that page from there. So don't mess it out. You need to import that one. And the second one, the third one, it will be the account. And also I need to import from their accounts, or you can just put an S, no problem. And then it will be our details, where the product details will be there. By the way, don't just be messed up with that names, because we're gonna create a full stack e-commerce website with that. It's just I'm going just part by part, that the way you can understand, or you can just pick the things which you really need, not everything. So now our stack is ready. As you see, we have 5 pages. So now we need to toggle through those pages. So how we can do that? We need to configure the navigator, which we have been done with that stack. So now here we need to go there, moving between screens. And to move between screens, we can just move it easily. Let's go to our header over here, header. So I'm gonna close all other things instead of headers. So now in header, we need to use the navigation. So let's go const navigation. It will be use navigation. We need to import it from our React Navigation native. Now we need to click a function over here, which will be on press function. We are not getting in the React native, there will be no on click function, but the same functionality, it will be on press. Like what it's gonna do, if I just put an alert message, oops, it will be alert. Okay, dot alert hello from shoppers, and we need to import that alert from our React Native. So now what it's gonna do, once we click on that over here, it's gonna show us an alert message, hello from shoppers. So now instead of showing that alert message, what we need to do, we need to create that navigation dot navigate. It's gonna navigate to us to the cart. So now if we click over here, as you see, we are here in the cart. But even we are here in the cart, as you see, there is an error coming from the TypeScript. We're gonna sort it out later on. But right now, what we need to do, we need to create another components, which will be our common header. Header.tsx rnfe. So this will be responsible to create a header in every instances. So let's go first. Let me just close that Android. Let's go to our cart section. We need to import our common header over here. So as you see, the common header is available. First, we need an icon, and we use that our hero icons from there. And from, we need to take one icon, which is the left icon. We want to use that arrow left icon. Let's see if we can import left icon. Okay. It will not be here actually. We need to import it in the common header, not in the cart. Okay. So instead of the text, let's put that arrow left icon. Size will be 25. Color, it will be, is give a black color. Let's see if we can see that. As you see, the arrow is available over here. And after the arrow, we're gonna have a text which will say us to go back. So now in the view, what we need to do, we will put a class name. As you see, by default, it will be flex column. So if you want to make it flex row, we need to tell React Native to make it as flex row. You see, it's flex row. Item will be center, and gap will be 3. It's gonna be give a little bit gap, or we can give it 2. Yeah, that's good. By the way, but better to give 3 because I'm gonna modify that text also. Let's go class name. Text will be base. Font, it will be semi-bold, and text color, it will be black. So this is the text. Whenever we click on it, it will take us to go back. And by the way, what we need to do to implement that one, we need to make it the same way. Remember what we have been done. It will be that touchable opacity. And also we need to import it from our React Native. And those import things is very, very crucial. It needs to be import from the actual source, otherwise it will not work. First of all, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take everything inside a view, and that view I'm gonna give a class name. I'm gonna make a padding in x-axis 2 to give a little bit room to breathe. Or instead of giving that, I'm gonna give it to the card over here. As you see, class name, it will be px2. So now this is the card page, and also in the common header, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put another class name, and height will be 12, and a border B, it will be 1 pixel, and border B, it will be the gray of 500. As you see, it's having a border, and it will be item center. Oops, not the item center. Before keep it item center, after the touchable opacity, I want to get another one which will be like the it will be another text which gonna show us where we are heading it. It will be in the card page. So now again, I want to make it as a flex row, and now item center and justify between. As you see, it's giving us a little bit impromptu. So what I'm gonna do for the text, actually I'm gonna just implement that same class name for my card page also. So this is the card page. So now this title, it will not be this title. It will be like a dynamic title. Whenever I call it, the title will be different. So first of all, we need to pass the title, which page title it will be. So title, it will be whenever I'm coming from the card, it will be the card page title. So let's go to common header, and we need to get it that one as props, so it will be title props, and let's put it here, title. As you see, card paste is showing over here. Now if I remove the page, it will just show us the card, so that's working, but there is a TypeScript error. We need to sort out that one, and to sort that, we're gonna put the type, it will be the props, and we are getting the title as a props. Oops, the title, and the title is actually a string. So now we need to tell to our native that we are using that props as title. So now as you see, the TypeScript error is gone and our card page is working. Whenever I click, we need to ensure that it will take us to the back, and to do that, this in the common header. So first of all, it's happening over here. Let's create an onPress function, and that onPress function, what we need to do, first of all, we need to get that navigation, use navigation. So now there is another option for that, like navigation.navigate, and there is a function which will ensure not to navigate, it will be navigation go back. That's a built-in function. It's a responsibility to take us to go back. As you see, there is no error when we use the navigation, because we are using the existing navigation which have the types defined already. But our header, there is an error which we use the card is functional, but the error is here, so we need to sort out that error also. So first of all, let's see if it's working or not. You say, yeah, it's working. So let's go to in the card page, we need to click, like we need to create some buttons for it, so we can toggle through with all other page. So the same way, touchable opacity, and the text, first one, it will be account, like the profile you want to use. So that's the account, and let's go, and the class name, it will be full, and BG, it will be a gray 950, PY2, and around it, it will be, let's give it 3 axle. As you see, that's working fine. And for the text class name, it will be text LG, and text white. Okay, it's good. And font, it will be semi-bold. So now we need to keep it in the center, as we know that it's in Flexbox, so it will be item center, justify center, very easy to take in the middle. So now also in that view, what we're gonna do, we're gonna put a class name, and empty is a 6, so a little bit room to breathe. And also what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give a margin bottom of 3, because we need to have another 3 others button also over here. So one is the account, one is that details, which will be the product details in our actual application, and another one will be our payment authentication. So now we have that 3 page, so we need to, and all page is clickable. So what we need to do, once we click, we need to go through that actual pages. So how we can implement that one? First of all, let's go get the navigation, const navigation, which will be use navigation. And now we need to click that onPress function over here. Let's click functional, and it will be navigation.navigate. And where we want to go? We want to go to account. And if we click, it will be in the accounts, I believe, which we give the name over here. Just be careful on you are doing that in the app. I believe we give the name as accounts. Yes, need to give the right name. See, the accounts is available. So let's go to the accounts file over here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take our common headers over here, and I'm gonna put the title props as it will be better to my profile. So see, my profile is available, and in the view, I'm gonna put a class name px2, a little bit room to breathe. If I go back, I can go over here, And if you want to change anything in the common header, just come over here. Just if I want to gap to 2, you can change it anyway. So now before moving to further, as you see, we're going to have an error in the card. We're going to have an error in the header. So we're going to have an error in every way. So why that error is coming? Because we need to use the TypeScript props. As you see, we need to use that native stack screen props to just avoid that TypeScript error, and we're gonna implement it right now before toggle through the other page. First of all, what I am gonna do, we have one type definition file over here, which is type.d.txt. Remember, we created in our last project. That's the file over here. Now in here, I need to import that one, which will be import type from that type navigation prop. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna export, oops, it will be export, and I want to export a type which will be, oops, it will be home stack navigator param list. You can put, I think it's the best way to write the name as defined in the type. As you see, they are defined in that way. If you just go in the root stack param list or some others, so better to follow in that way. So now we need to define how many screen we have. We have one screen which is home, and the type, it will be undefined, because just to be simply avoid any recirculation. And then we have one accounts which also will be undefined. Oops. Yeah, undefined. And then we have that card page, also undefined, and details undefined, and we're gonna have that payment, which is also undefined. That undefined means it's gonna tell that like the TypeScript to avoid any props, because anything can be there inside those screens. So don't worry about to put it as undefined. It's just fine. It's the way it's work. So we have a 5 pages, and also we need to export the type, and that type, it will be it will be home screen, and it will be navigator. I think not navigator, I think it's gonna be navigation prop, because that prop's gonna work when we're gonna implement that one. So what we need to do, we need to use that navigation screen props, native stack screen props. And inside that props, what we need to pass some values. And first value we're gonna pass as a home stack navigation prop. And after not the prop, oops, it will not home stack navigation, the list we create, param list we have been created. So we home stack param list, yes. And after that, also we need to pass all the pages we have been created. It will be home, so it will be home and account, then cart, details, payment. So now we are having that. So now it's good to go to implement in the app.tsx. Let's go to implement that. And to implement that in the app is very simple. As you see, we are having that create native stack navigator. What you need to do, we need to just get that home stack param list. So it's gonna re-render with that list, and it's gonna know in which screen, how many screens we have, and in which screen it's just toggling through. We need only one, don't use the 2. So you're gonna have that error. So now as you see, we are having all things set up. So now whenever we are using that navigation, what we need to do, just the simple things we need to implement. We need to we need to get that home screen navigation prop in the types to define that the things we are using. So let's close, just delete the other one. Once we did that, as you see, the error has been gone. So now the same way, we need to also put that over here. It will be home stack navigation prop, and just delete the other side because we're gonna use only one proportion. So as you see, now we are not having any error. All the error is gone from the TypeScript. So now let's go and implement for the other portion, like when we have an accounts for the details and for the payment. So the same way, on press, it will be a function and the navigation, oops, it will be navigation dot navigate, and it will be. And by the way, in our next video, once we gonna implement the Doyer navigation, as you see, we have Doyer navigation. Also, we're gonna make something very beautiful where you're gonna show that how TypeScript is helping to show us everything inside the props. We're gonna implement that one also. And for our payment, let's create an onPress function, and that function will be navigation dot navigate, and it's gonna navigate to us to payment. So let's see if everything is working fine. And as you see in the payment page, we also need to implement that common header, and that common header is over here, and we need to pass a title for it, title, and it will be gateway, payment gateway. As you see, that is the payment gateway. And also we're gonna put a class name px2 to give a padding to breathe. And also we're gonna add some lorem 25, just the one lorem, and next payment page, just to let it be look a little bit better. So cut it over here. We're gonna put inside a view class name text. It will be LG, or we're gonna give it base and text. So this looks better, and font it will be semi-bold. And what we're gonna do, class name center justify center. Let's go class name text center. So now we have our payment page ready. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna copy that all, and after that we have one details page. So let's go and implement that one in the detail page. Oops, it will not be there here. And now we need to change the, like it will be details, or it will be like, oops, it will be product details. So now let's see how it's work. If we go to account, we can see the my profile. If we go to our details, we can see the product details, we can see the payment, we can see the payment page. Now let's go to the home and also in the app. So now actually home is the first, is loading the first, but somehow it can collapse. So what we need to do, we need to type one initial route name, and it will be the home route. So every time whenever I reload, it will just reload the home page first. Okay, so now you see the home page is loading. So I don't want the home page. I want whenever it's loading, it will be our accounts page. Okay, so now if I just make a hot reload, what we're gonna see actually over here, my profile. So let's go and create the home. It will not come first. You need to make reload, or instantly start the server again, then it's gonna work. So now that's the basic React navigation, how you can follow through. So as you see, it's everything working fine, and if you follow everything step by step perfectly, it's gonna be work for you also. And in our next video, we're gonna implement the Doyer navigation, and also we're gonna implement the Redux toolkit for our store management. Okay, and as you see, I'm gonna give the link in the description to start up your project. So hope you can do it, and we'll see you in my next video.